Hello everyone, I am Delonum, and in today's video, we're going to go over the top 3 evilest characters in a TV show ever. Alright, I understand it's kind of broad, so how about top 3 evilest characters in a TV show in the last decade? Yeah? That's more manageable? No? Sort of? Alright, final offer. How about top 3 evilest characters in a TV show in the last decade who terrified audiences? Before we get started, I just wanted to mention that in order to tell you who the evilest character is, I might have to tell you things about them, which might incorporate spoilers. So I'm not going to go too crazy on the spoiler train. Just keep in mind, you might find out something about a character if you were ever interested in seeing the show. So let me go ahead and get started. The first character is from the beloved, or recently beloved, Game of Thrones. All right, first up are some options. You have the Night King, who killed, or honestly, he just brought back dead people. Honestly, he's great for the working man, so we'll keep a note on him. Joffrey Baratheon. I mean, just look at that face. That's a face you could slap with a brick. Ramsay Bolton. He's got a nice name. Got a really evil-looking smirk. He did some really messed up stuff, I'm not gonna lie. Finally, we have Cersei Lannister. My god, look at her neck in that photo. That's the real crime. All right. So the Night King, honestly, he wants to kill everyone. Pretty bad guy. Joffrey, man, he was a douche. He shot a girl with a crossbow just for fun. I think he killed her. Ramsay Bolton, he has killed a lot of people. His weapon of choice is a dog. Kind of weird. Cersei, oh my god. Let's just say she was pretty explosive in some of her deeds of notoriety. So, who could it be, right? Who could be the worst Game of Thrones character? The evilest. I'm gonna have to say Ramsay Bolton. And here's why. This man was all about torture, and more torture. So, he cut off this one guy's weenie, and in another scene, there was like a cooked sausage. And at one point, he was like just eating it. And the guy's weenie he had just cut off was looking at him. But don't worry, he didn't actually eat the guy's weenie. So don't worry too much about that. But that's pretty messed up. I mean, especially cutting off the weenie, but making the guy think that you were eating it. He hunted humans with this hottie named Miranda. Now, he was supposed to marry this hottie, but I mean, obviously things kind of changed. But it was such a douche move. No, so they would hunt people in the woods with bows and have dogs chase them down. They would do this on multiple occasions because her dad was the hound master. I think that's what it is. Kennel master. You get the idea. Real talk. This guy was a rapist. And I'm not sure if it was just for the Winterfellian sweetheart, Sansa Stark, or if there were honestly other girls as well. Honestly, I think there was a scene with Miranda kind of entailed that. Anyway, horrible guy. Really horrible guy. Uh, by the way, oh, he killed his father, his stepmother, and infant brother. Yeah, this little guy right here. He killed them, fed them to the hounds. Honestly, not sure if alive or dead. Knowing this guy, probably alive. But, oh my gosh, this awful, awful guy fed them to the hounds. That is why I have to tell you, Ramsay Bolton is the evilest character in the entire Game of Thrones TV series. Well, that in the directors. You know what I'm saying. Next up, we have The Walking Dead. And our first character for the evilest gold medal is Shane Walsh. Wait, is that David Schwimmer? Hold up. All right. All right, this is Shane Walsh. He slept with his homie's wife, and honestly, he had total intentions of killing said homie and taking his wife. Like, he was going to shoot him behind the back. How messed up is that? That's kind of like a spoiler, but it's not, even though it is. It's not a spoiler if you watch the show. Anyway, next up on the list is this guy named the Governor. Yeah, that eye patch is a crime. This guy could not let it go. He tried taking the main cast home just because he wanted it. Not because he was actually going to live there or anything. He just didn't like people or like that he didn't control. He killed a couple of main characters. I think it was a couple. It was definitely at least one. But honestly, you just wish this guy was dead the whole time, and you wished that people would wisen up and just shoot this man or take out his other eye. You know what I'm saying? All right, next on the list. Now, there's only so many horrible, horrible characters in The Walking Dead. And I think Gareth from the Terminus Season 2-ish 3 really takes the cake here because this community essentially led people to a quote-unquote sanctuary where they were supposed to be safe. But instead, he would store them in train cars and eat them. He would eat them. They had like a slaughter workshop where literally they were going to kill them. It was honestly brutal. And then they slit the throats and then the whole body. It was gross. Anyway, finally on this list, you can probably guess it if you've seen the show, but maybe you've heard this guy, Negan. Just one word. I don't even know if he had a last name. I think they said it was Smith. I think it's one of the writers jokingly said. Negan, horrible guy. Again, killed a couple of the main cast. He's done a lot of other stuff as well. You hate him, but you also love him for his attitude. So let's figure out Who on earth could be the evilest character in this entire universe? The universe being The Walking Dead. We're gonna have to go with Negan, alright? And hear me out. This guy would murder just to prove a point. He killed two of the show's beloved characters in a game of eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And he would kill other people just for people's sake. For killing's sake, I should say. He went to the main town, took their mattresses, and just burned them. So he took the mattresses, like, ooh, these are some nice mattresses. I'm gonna bring them back to my town. My men could use some good mattresses. And so they took all of their mattresses, because, you know, I mean, zombie apocalypse, mattresses, pretty good stuff. But no, they just burned them. I don't know, that's a huge dick move. And literally just taking somebody's bed. Oh, by the way, he had many wives, all of which depicted here. Essentially, it was just tons of women, and he usually widowed them. He killed their husbands, and oh yeah, he just added them to his repertoire. And so he just had this harem of women he just slept with whenever he wanted, and they were essentially like maids slash servants. Some of this was, I guess, pretty forcible to an extent. Honestly, if you disobeyed him, he'd probably beat you with his bat. Would you say that was his other wife? Because its name was Lucille. ... Plot. Anyway, he made the main character his bitch. It was so depressing to watch this show and see how he completely broke the main character's spirit to the point you wanted to cry for them. I don't know. Overall, just saying, Negan, probably the evilest character. Now, in like recent seasons, there's been quote unquote redemption. Personally, I haven't seen them, but I just know, I've read online, there has been supposed redemption of such, but I don't know. You can't really forgive all of this. Anyway, moving on. The next universe with the evilest character is going to be set in the Vampire Diaries universe. First up on the list is Damon Salvatore. Now, some of you probably aren't even surprised that this guy makes the cut. Some of you are. Like, what? How could... I mean, Damon killed so many people during the early, I guess, episodes slash seasons just because he would, like, have an emotional breakdown. Boom, killed. Boom, done. And before that, he just did whatever he wanted, kind of as like an emotional lashing out. Next on that list, we have Niklaus Michelson. Oh my god, this guy, his whole goal was to be known as ruthless. He killed three-ish main characters, I guess supporting main characters, mostly just because either they went along with, he needed that to happen for his plans, or just to prove a point. This guy probably has a body count well over 500. Oldest vampire alive. That's why I think he makes the list for potential most evilest character in this universe. All right, next up, Catherine Pierce. And by the way, when Nina Dobrev dressed up as Catherine, whew, good for her. Damn. Anyway, Catherine, her whole shtick was she did whatever it took to stay alive, no matter what. No matter who it killed, who it hurt, or who she betrayed. Stay alive. That's all it took. And if you can imagine the roads that could take in a vampire's life, tons of people killed. Honestly, there were these two characters that helped her, and she basically threw them under the bus, and then they spent 500 years on the run from this guy. By the way. And finally, on our list, we have Kai Parker. Look at that hands fucker. Anyway, Kai Parker, the things he did, he was honestly very psychotic. He gave you some Ramsay Bolton vibes. He killed siblings, killed many people. He killed so many people. So, Damon, honestly, they've all killed people. Does that really make you evil? Alright, that's not a question. Circumstantial. How's that sound? Anyway, who could this possible person be? Who could be the evilest person in the Vampire Diaries universe? Guys, if you've ever seen this show, Kai Parker. Alright, let me tell you why. This guy is a cold-blooded killer. He killed 5 out of 6 of his siblings. Zero remorse. And that's just who he killed in his family. Honest to God, he technically killed 6 out of 6 of his siblings. But there was like a whole ordeal that happened. Basically, that person was gonna die anyway, but somebody else killed them. Just because. So I would rack his body count of families up to 6 at least. First time we ever saw this character. Oh, yeah, it was him just trying to kill Damon. You know, the other guy that we said was the evilest. Would there have been any harm? You meet this guy for less than 40 seconds, and he tries to kill the main character. Honestly, I can't see the reason why, other than just cause. I don't know. It's honestly a fantastic question. Probably his most unforgivable deed that he did that I would say makes him the evilest character in this universe, honestly, if not out across all 3 of these universes, was he killed his pregnant twin sister on her wedding day at the wedding. Honestly, this is Red Wedding vibes, except all one person, not the Lannisters send their regards, or like anything like that. This is one dude. And oh yeah, he also killed his entire witch coven and many, many others at this wedding as well. There's a little cute bloody picture of him at that wedding. Yeah, that's honestly the meat of how awful of a person this guy is. Honestly, biggest unpredictable psychotic character. I hate him. You hate him. You love him. You love him. I don't know. Throughout the entire run on the show, the biggest point behind here is that the audience had no idea what he was going to do, and there's just so much that I could have listed that I didn't, that he did. Honestly, the only way that you could convey the level and fear and unpredictability that was behind this character would be to compare it to Ramsay Bolton if you had ever seen Game of Thrones, which is why both of those guys were on this list. Those are my top 3 evilest characters in the last decade who scared the audience. Yeah, I think that's what I wrote. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. I'll feel obligated to make another one of these wretched videos if it actually picks up traction. I don't know. First time I ever did this, I made a PowerPoint. It took me like four hours to make this PowerPoint. Anyway, yeah, appreciate it, and let me know how I did. And if you agree with any of these or disagree, you'll probably honestly, people don't comment positivity; they just comment what they think. Anyway, thank you, and goodbye.